Alright, we're back to the original way of doing this because our sound recorder messed up. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, so we forgot how to do
most
this.
of a year.
So this is the thing where Evan and I see a movie and then review it in the car on the way home. I think the last one we did was like Star Wars.
Technically, yeah. We kind of did one for Civil War, but it was just kind of at your house.
Kind of. We weren't in a car.
And we were catching up. It's been a busy year. I've only seen like 2 other movies this summer anyways.
Yeah.
It's been a very different summer.
Yeah, I'm not worried about you guys.
Suicide
What a strange
Squad.
experience Suicide Squad was.
We're going to spoil it all. So
It was like they had all these pieces that could work.
But see it.
It was like a game. It was like a movie Mad Libs, where like they would just put something there and it'd be like, why is that there? And it was just really
that's a nice way
strange.
To put it, I guess.
There was no flow to it.
I thought it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my whole life.
It was really bad. Like, I'm shocked.
I would rather watch Batman and Robin.
I thought the casting was good. Obviously, the trailers looked awesome. And Leto is just like, oh man, this is going to be a slam
case
dunk.
Study in marketing.
Great cast, great marketing, fucking weird, horrible execution. Like, there's so many movies where the bad guys have to team up with the good guys. There's so many of those.
I have so much shit to say.
You know
I
what I mean?
don't even know if I can be able to keep it. It's like every 2 seconds there was something stupid.
Here, you know what a big problem I think was with this film, and I think it could have been better if they had taken another direction, not necessarily good but better, was the antagonist, the threat that they had to go get rid of.
Well, when they're introducing him, she's like, alright, but she starts out Deadshot, then Harley, which also have an introduction before the title, and then immediately get reintroduced with everybody else as she's going through her checklist. And then she's like, I saved the best for last, it's Enchantress. Who the fuck cares about Enchantress?
No one.
I didn't even. I'm a huge DC person. I didn't know who Enchantress was before.
And not only does no one care, it doesn't make any sense.
But you're in a movie with the fucking Joker.
The threat they're sent to get rid of is something that doesn't really make any sense. It's obviously like some supernatural weird witch shit, but no one cares about the Enchantress. No one. It doesn't she has no plan. Something about a heart. It's really weird. Isn't it also strange that Amanda Waller, who's like the government lady behind putting this team of supervillains together, happens to put them together right the night before? It reminded me of Ghostbusters, when they face off against Zool.
Yeah.
But way more silly. First of all, I thought the effects were terrible.
They were. It looked like a cartoon.
And then she has the brother, and then somehow, why does Diablo turn into a thing to fight him?
I don't know. It's supposed to be a big twist. They were going to rescue Viola Davis or Amanda Waller from the building she's in. What?
Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's a bad villain.
First of all, everybody's got their fucking sob story.
Yeah.
They're all badasses. It's like, oh, so he killed his children.
Another point. So many fantastic songs in the film that they got the rights to that they just wasted. And they used them over and over, and it's
sick of it. It's like trying to be a music video. It's like, hey, don't get down. Here's a song.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, let's get pumped up for nothing
but
happening.
Instead of all those,
really.
why not save up for 1 or 2 that you could have really made a slam dunk?
Right.
They knew each other short of 24 hours.
I'm gonna have to pull over. I'm so mad.
Just keep going straight.
So saving all the I could spend an hour going through the details of all the things that are wrong, but just in general, you're making a movie with the Joker and you're spending all this. Who the fuck cares about El Diablo?
Right.
Nobody ordered this movie. Nobody said, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get all these other. First of all, it's DC is okay, we have the rights to 100,000 characters. Let's give everybody all of them in the first 2 movies we make. Nobody wanted to see all these people. Nobody asked for this. No, and what we do want to see is Harley Quinn and the Joker, and you barely give us any of that.
But that doesn't bother me because they give you characters that you could do without. They'll give you the Harley Quinn, the Deadshot that are cool, but they'll also give you, and Killer Croc's cool, but you can get rid of the other one. But I think you shouldn't even really see Joker. You should just hear about him. He's looking for Harley.
Right, they were,
and then he
comes
in a weird
middle
at the
ground
end when they need help. But he's coming to get her. But
he should be fucking everything up.
And he just fucking wrecks house.
Either you're making a Joker movie or you're not. And this movie exists in a weird middle ground.
I think that there's a way
I would
that
have
you
loved
can
just a
plant
new
a
Joker
seed.
movie.
Of course.
Well, you see way too much of him, and what you see of him is he's like this lovey-dovey.
Yeah,
guy.
I think, and he was honestly, I felt like weird,
He didn't have any
oddly
fun.
serious.
Yeah, he was
like his
serious.
laugh didn't seem like he was having fun.
Like it was enough that like I mean I'll give Jared Leto another shot in a movie that digs into the character, because this movie definitely didn't. But it was just like
But imagine.
And how sad is it that you're making a movie with the Joker and it's just like
Well, it's like
let's get back to Enchantress.
It's like the fact that it feels like it's something that the whole world should be aware of, but it's only like 10 people.
Right.
It doesn't make and why not send in the army?
Well, or Batman.
And why?
It's a Batman movie, ultimately.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is Batman?
And why?
We just had Superman and Batman save the world. And Wonder Woman.
And never explained
Katana. That just happened.
Like Katana joined randomly, and he's like, yeah, she's you know.
And just another person whose husband died or wife died or daughter died.
But she's like my bodyguard. Like he knows about her. It's like, what the fuck? Where'd you find her?
Right.
And by the way, in the comic books, Rick Flag is awesome. Like his father, like. It was a big general, but he tried to like overthrow the country. And Rick Flag, you can't tell is good, but he's a badass.
It gets back to the point where you're trying to set up 1,000 people in one movie. Same problem Batman and Superman had.
You could say that they earn respect for each other over it if you want to allude to that, but they
didn't show it.
But they gave them lines to say it.
They all said it.
You can sell that with a look.
Like the last
from Deadshot to Rick Flag, you can sell with a look. Like fucking Fast and Furious did a better job of setting up Paul Walker. At the very end, he looks at Vin Diesel and he backs off just enough for him to get away with the train coming.
Yeah,
that was done with a look.
Well, this movie is clearly pandering to that crowd too. It's like everybody called each other bra or
Fantastic
bitch, or
Furious,
like everybody was so cool.
Fast and Furious is way better.
I got sick of how cool everybody was. I just got bored. I got close to walking out. I was bored.
It was just ugly looking, and then there wasn't that much. Good. There was horrible action.
Like it was, and it was so strategically set. Like I said,
it was so
like I said
weird.
A minute ago, is like a really good case study in marketing. In
well,
that,
also
like,
this
they highlighted only the good parts.
They had all these.
Like I thought it was going to be a really well shot movie from the trailer, and like there are some good shots, most of them in the beginning. But it's like the trailer only shows you
drab and boring.
The trailer shows you pretty much everything with the Joker in it. Like there's no surprises.
It's like when you have all the ingredients for a great meal, a great casserole, but you like fuck it up, like you mismeasure it.
It's like you put it all in a blender.
And you're like, wait, what? Yeah, you're like it's out of.
That's all.
It didn't
DC's
turn out
been doing is just putting everything they got into a blender and like getting a big spoon and slopping it down on a tray for us. Said, here, you hungry? This is what you want, right?
And they also Marvel films almost always end with hey, this is why you should come back and see us.
I'm not going back.
I'm not going
done.
back either. I'm talking about Marvel knows how to say, oh, and then like in the end, he looks like he's gearing up for this. Let's go see what happens next one. This one, they blew their load with the Joker.
Hold on.
And they could have saved him and you want to come back for him.
Well, we know you didn't kill the Joker. But Harley believes it, and she doesn't she's over it in a second. That is not Harley Quinn.
No.
She would have been a wreck the rest of the movie, but instead she's excited for her new friends. She wants to save her new super friends.
And I was looking forward to seeing Jai Courtney do Captain Boomerang. Because the stuff I'd seen with him in his accent, like, he looked like a cool, weird character.
Yeah.
And they barely gave him any screen time.
He could be an interesting character, but it's just not there.
No, and
it was obnoxiously cool.
Amanda Waller, what the fuck is she doing, like, being, like, brain
And Viola Davis is, like, she did it good. Like, she was, like, a bad guy. But then the character just got too stupid. It was just, like...
She just got too...
She's, like, a one-man army, and she's mean for no... Like, killing the innocent people to be, like, a badass. Like, what?
No, I thought that was cool just because, in the right context, she can't have any people who see what happened.
Right.
But at that point in the movie, she's just total bitch. So you're not like, that's a badass bitch. You're just like, she's evil. Like, she's the villain.
She's the villain.
Like,
she could have been the villain. Screw Enchantress. Like, this could have been really interesting.
And all things Enchantress. And what the fuck in the subway?
And her brother.
They sent her there to the subway to investigate something.
Some underwater seals have to go place it. Crocker's one because he's the water guy. But I don't think I couldn't tell what happened underwater.
I have no idea.
And how does that bomb work? They placed it there. It's like, all right, set, hit it. So it's a one direction bomb?
So it's like, how do we defeat this demigod demon? We just blow it up.
And obviously, we're sick of the end of the world demigod problem.
There's so many films.
But again, where's Batman?
I went into this knowing it wasn't going to be Batman.
I know, but this is a problem basically that Batman would solve, and instead you're giving his like D-list celebrity villains the chance to solve it.
But there's so many fucking examples of a film where bad guys and good guys have to band together. Like, The Rock does it better with fucking Sean Connery. There's a million. DC, you're fucked. blow it up and start over.
Start
You
over.
have to.
I'm not interested in pinpoint. Oh, well, Margot Robbie was pretty good if she got the right.
No.
I'm tired of this shit.
I'm shocked at how bad that was.
I think we overheated, so I'm gonna move the camera off of our normal place. It's like the problem is that they're too concerned with making it look cool and giving everybody like a line. Like, okay, Harley's got a couple of Harley-ish lines. This is the first time you're gonna do the character on the big screen, and she's not upset when the Joker dies.
She's not crazy enough.
She's not crazy enough. She's not unpredictable enough. And then like she ends up being like a softie at the like. What was with her dream? Enchantress makes everybody dream what they want, and she dreamed of having a normal life with the Joker as like a normal.
And then she says that the killing blow. Don't mess with my friends.
Yeah,
you don't have friends.
But like, her fantasy is to have kids with the Joker and them not be the Joker and Harley, to be normal people.
Honestly,
in like
one
a
of the
cookie
first
counter
things
house.
that should have had any sports movie, even when Mighty fucking Ducks, any movie when they're like, we're putting the team together, they go and find a guy. Oh, who's this guy? You know, the scout thing. That's on the first act easily, and you kind of feel out who everyone is. Like, it's so many examples of that. It doesn't have to be comic book. Doesn't have to be like action. It can be like a sports movie.
You know, obviously they missed it. Obviously they had already made Suicide Squad by the time everybody hated Batman Superman. And sure, I have to believe that somebody at DC knew they had made a bad movie.
I mean,
like they had to. This isn't like just like, oh, maybe they'll love it. This is like a clearly awful movie, and I encourage you, even if you're slightly interested, please don't go, because they need to feel the hit of this movie financially to get the message across. I mean, we still have Zack Snyder directing a movie right now with all these characters. Like, they didn't learn their lesson. The problem is they said, okay, we're gonna make 50 movies. Let's go ahead and announce them. Let's start making them back to back before anybody's seen any of them, before we have any validation. So here's the first two that you'd already made before everybody started screaming about it.
Oh, well, fourth time's the charm.
Don't try and, like, you're beating a dead horse here. This is a disaster. I thought going in this would be better than Batman Superman.
I did too.
I think Batman Superman is the better movie, and I never thought I'd say that sentence.
I think they should sell it to fucking Disney.
Yeah. I think it's an embarrassment.
I mean, fuck, that was bad. That was fucking terrible.
I mean, and just salt on the wound is they play the teaser for Nolan's next movie, Dunkirk, right before, and it's just like, it's like 4 shots, and you're just like, I think I whispered over to Kara, I was like, I miss it. You know, you miss when that guy was making Batman movies. Like, David Ayer is an interesting guy because he's kind of hit or miss. He's made Sabotage, but he's also made Fury, which is amazing. He made End of Watch, which is amazing. He's made as many great movies as he's made terrible movies, and I don't really know if he's really to blame here or not.
I'm curious to know what the fuck happened.
I mean, I saw the story where like they got the people that edited the fucking trailer to help edit the final cut of the movie.
Well, because
like,
I look at
I
look at bits and pieces of it, and it feels like somewhere in there's a decent movie. It's cut weird. It's in weird segments.
Well,
let's see
going back
all
to
of
like
it.
you're talking about with the music. It's like every once in a while, it's like, oh, let's get them hyped up on music. It's like, it's not a fucking trailer. You shouldn't have hired the trailer guys to make the movie. Even like the drone bad guys that they go through weren't very interesting. It was just like, I'm sick of this.
I was more interested in Marvel gets shit for the aliens and Avengers and then the robots. But they're way more interesting than fucking the whatever the hell. Like, I don't even know what happened.
Just like, I don't know. It's just like there's a lot of like little shit along the way.
I'm
just
fucking
like
baffled.
Like, we're here to watch the Suicide Squad, not a bunch of army dudes shoot black things at night.
Yeah.
Like black monsters. Like you can't see. And the black monsters had guns too. Like they were just people with guns. It's just like people shooting.
If anything,
and you got Deadshot. He's like the best shot. So it should just be all leveled pretty quickly.
If
I wish they had killed everybody immediately.
I wish I had a.
Oh, they had a bomb in their neck.
I wish I had a bomb in my neck.
Watching that movie. Yeah. And I would have run away and lost my head.
I would have hit the button.
What all this says is that they
they
fundamentally misunderstand the material they're working with, because right off the bat, anything with Joker and Harley Quinn, they are not physical people. They are not powerhouses. They are not great with guns. That's like even when Joker shows up in the chopper and then like shoot them all down. Yeah, but Deadshot's right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything that comes down to it's like, well, Deadshot's right there. Like the first introduction with him is him like barely even looking and shooting and assassinating a guy like with a second to go. The thing that holds Batman higher than other superheroes, generally speaking, though I'd rather take a Thor movie over this movie, is that his villains tend to be psychological. Or when they're not, they're like Killer Croc, which he looked amazing. His makeup was fantastic, but total waste of time for the makeup department because the guy's barely in the movie, barely does anything. Yeah, why can't we get a superhero movie that deals with a psychological problem? Like Amanda Waller would have been a great villain.
Yeah,
because she's
exactly
not physically threatening.
And
I
he's
don't
like,
want to
that's
see
fucked
anybody mowing down armies of whatever. Who gives a fuck?
They should have sent them in to something that they lied about, and even Rick Flag is pissed.
I think DC thinks the marketing is as important or more important than the actual movies they're making. And this is a fundamental flaw in what they're doing. Because they release a trailer for Suicide Squad, and then the reaction to the trailer makes them afraid of what they're making, even though nobody's seen what they're making. And so they preemptively try to fix what they're making, be more in line with the reaction of the trailer.
And look,
before you've even finished making it or have anybody seen it. And we just had Comic-Con, and they've shown us scenes from Justice League, which just started shooting like 3 weeks ago. They're not ready to show that. But now we've seen that. Like, we have to treat the marketing almost like movies being released too.
Yeah.
Because that's come out now. And so, in our timeline, we know that Batman and the Flash are all about. We know that Aquaman's around. Okay, Superman's dead, but that's not the end of the world. You know, we got Wonder Woman. All these things have been established. And here we have another end-of-the-world event.
Took down Captain Boomerang.
Right. So where are all these fucking people? You're gonna do another big magic show in a big city.
And they're like, people are asking questions like, why? Because the fucking floating shit in the sky,
right.
The witch.
But where are the fucking heroes?
Exactly.
But it doesn't matter because 10 years from now, nobody remembers the fucking trailers.
Yeah, exactly. God, that was
Nobody
bad.
remembers the trailer for Avengers or Iron Man. Nobody cares.
No.
Because those are well-made movies.
God.
You just made me say Avengers well-made movie. I didn't even like Avengers. Just like, oh, it's, you want humor and you want okay, here, we did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
I'm just
You happy? I don't care what you do. Just give it to somebody that gives a shit. Give them $200 million. Say, I'll see you in a year, and go let them do something that they care about, and then show that up to us. I don't want a fucking trailer. I don't want any of this shit.
Now,
I'm done with you trying to convince me that you know what you're doing, because you don't.
The saddest thing is that they still have 2 more they're rolling out, at least, and they're stubborn and trying to dig their heels in.
I'm not going.
And I'm not going, and
It's just like, how is it rocket science for these people that sit in conference rooms trying to decide what fans want to see? Like, it's not. Like, you know what? Look at your own track record. What has worked? What didn't work was Joel Schumacher and George Clooney and, like, the Bat credit card jokes and Mr. Freeze puns. That didn't work.
I'm fine.
What did work was going to hire, like, a thoughtful indie film director who cared about what he was doing and letting him have free reign over it. Everybody's got killer's remorse, except for Croc, I guess.
They hold up the cell phone. It's like, just shoot. You could shoot them right then.
Yeah,
before they hit
yeah. You think it'd be a more intuitive
turn their back,
thing.
it's like,
yeah. I hated the sense of cool about it. It wasn't cool, and it bled over. Like, it's fine.
Itself was so cool.
It's
and,
fine
breaking.
if you like push that into like 1 or 2 characters that are like the tatted up like gangster
guys.
guys.
I'm gonna do this one more time.
Well, you can't have El Diablo and the Joker both be like tatted up gangster guys.
I'm gonna make one more comparison to what Marvel does better than DC. Guardians of the Galaxy, a much more lighthearted affair, sells a better job of them not being great people than this movie does.
Right.
And you know who each one is.
Right.
And you know their personality. And you know...
arguably much better people than are in this. Or should be.
Yeah. But you still feel like they could skip out. And
right. Yeah, like, perfect comparison is Killer Croc and, what's-his-face, the wrestler guy in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
The same fundamental type character in the structure of the story. But I can't remember the character's name. Is way better in Guardians of the Galaxy. I felt like it existed too much in the real world too. I think that came around with the choice of music coming back in. It's like a lot of on the nose stuff, like playing "Sympathy for the Devil" when like Viola Davis comes on screen.
Within the first 3 minutes, they played.
We've heard like 6 famous songs.
They played the Animal song.
Picking my nose.
Rising Sun, House of the Rising Sun.
Right. Because the place is set in Louisiana.
Then they play You Don't Own Me, like that great song too. That's 2 big songs.
Right.
Then they play Sympathy for the Devil. And that's
and
like
then all the
first
music from the trailers.
3 minutes.
Bohemian Rhapsody comes in at the end. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
that was bad.
everything's in there.
It's all on
White Stripes.
It's all on the nose too. Like the Eminem song is like about like, look who's back. And it's like all the villains coming to put their costumes on. It's just like, it's so on the nose. But it's also like, I don't want the image of Harley and Joker riding around town like in a Lamborghini listening to Eminem. Like, that's a weird mashup of, like, which they're not really in the movie, but it might as well be with the way they use the music in the movie. But it's like a weird mashup of, like, it goes a little too far. And then, like, when Killer Croc wanted to watch BET in his cell.
Born on the Bayou.
Yeah.
They must have wasted so much money on royalties.
Probably the trailer people. Don't go see it, please.
Don't go see this film. Yeah. I just felt kind of embarrassed. Like, I felt it was like for some reason something I'd made, but like I was ashamed of it.
Yeah. There's a sense of embarrassment. The whole time you're watching it, you're like, oh no, and you kind of cringe for everyone involved.
Like,
you're like, ooh.
Because I was so, like, you know, in on this movie from when they started doing it.
That goes back to, like, you know, like Batman and Robin, at least, like, you're getting, like, a really earnest Mr. Freeze that, like, totally into his one-liners.
Yeah.
And then you can laugh at it.
Right.
This is, like, just bad. It's like, this isn't fun bad or B-movie bad or, oh my god, I can't believe they went that far bad.
I felt like
it's just like, you guys don't know what you're doing. You should stop.
I feel like I went to support my friend at, like, a talent show and, like, he fucking bombed or something.
Oh no, yeah.